Welcome to CathyDSlayt's SRC4u group Zoom call. To access her group Zoom call, we're here on her website, CathyDSlaght.com, and we'll slide down here and look for the Zoom banner where we'll click on it. Now, the Zoom call will have her clients as part of the demonstration while she demonstrates the SRC4u software. If you would like to be part of that call, it's a monthly fee, and you can click on the banner there, which will take you over to this banner, and you can read through all the information, and when you're ready, you can sign up and make sure you send this to Cathy. Back to CathyDSlaght, the front page. We'll join the Zoom call and click here. We're over on the Zoom platform where we will allow, and the next step will be to allow the video. We're connecting, and we're going to join with audio. And we're live. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, we have 3 more minutes, so I'll hold off.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Did anybody notice this is kind of silly, I know. Anybody notice anything interesting last night? Did anybody sleep better or things of that nature?
I slept good.
Yeah, I think I slept good.
Yeah. Okay, when I'll show you once we get started at 10. But I got that field generator scan cleaned up last night, and I sent it to Joanna for the VSA. And I'm going to start scanning our group. And you can, of course, scan yourself. I scanned myself as well for what we want to have going in our field as we sleep. And for the energy group, we wanted sage, and we're still going. I'll show you as soon as we get started at 10. And for myself, first, I wanted to do some clearing, and it took like 7 minutes. And then I wanted one for divine government. I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. And there's quite a few selections in this field generator scan if you don't have all these cocktails. Kevin does. And on my other computer, I may have others, which we'll add as we go. But it is rather thought-provoking to scan this and see what it is that we're asking for.
Right.
And, it's kind of funny. People look at these things and they say, how do I know this works? I want to understand this. How does it work? And it might be we just want to flow with it. We don't walk in the house and flip on the lights and say, I'm not going to use these lights because I don't know how this happens. This seems like magic. I don't see anything, yet now I have lights. Or how's this cell phone work, and how's the TV work, and etc. This is electromagnetic frequency, and there is validity to it. It's quite a list for the field generator. And
Cathy, I think this program is people that want to know how it works. And I'm sure every one of us were the same way in the very beginning too. You're more in your head, and this is not a 3D program. This is This is a 5D and probably a higher program. So you really have to get into your heart area instead of your head area for this.
Yes. And what is ideal is to have the two communicate with each other.
Exactly.
You're exactly right. And because we are surrounded, this is another concept, we are surrounded by information. That's how this whole system was set up, and we do operate. The more I study this, the more I'm convinced, much like a software program. There's all different dimensions. No telling what we could do with the timeline, little software app we have. But what happens is if we just turn it over and say, I'm open to information as it comes in, it will come in.
Right.
But to stress over it and say, well, I got to know how this works, may not be productive. So anyway, that's where we are. And we are actually still going Is this us? Yeah. On the sage, we've still got another few hours. We wanted 16 hours of sage. And nothing wrong with sage. It clears toxins, etc. So that's where that is. We are actually still running from yesterday. And I want to tell you a funny thing about our Zoom group. Remember we put the lottery thing in?
Yeah.
And so I did a field generator for the Zoom group as well. And we wanted the miracle field.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
we just wanted 7 minutes of it, but we took it. And so that's going. Here we are from yesterday.
Yeah.
Better win.
And we got some, things being cleared, as you know. Not the kind of things you'd go to the doctor and find is in our etheric field. Let's just look at this.
Cathy,
Yeah.
I just see your forehead.
What?
There you go.
There she is. We can't.
Okay, I need to. Okay.
Your forehead.
Okay. Am I on now?
That's
You're fine.
Okay. So anyway, we see a little stress related to a bacteria. We know there really is no negative thing in that sense, but we'll do a little de-stressing. Blood obstruction. A little stress there. And this is, obviously, I forgot to start that yesterday. I got to nourish my brain cells, which is also in there, by the way. Look at that, there's our brain. I had one person in the field generator that wanted 24 hours of nourished brain cells.
Wow.
And my opinion on that for her is not that she, there's something wrong with her brain. She may be getting ready to go up a level in consciousness. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or she could be tired.
Got it. She's got a lot of stress. That's 100%. But she does some pretty deep work.
Cathy, what does OCD stand for?
What?
Compulsive disorder.
What do the letters OCD stand for?
Yeah, obsessive compulsive disorder.
A what?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Oh.
And in other words, like you got to wash your hands over and over. You got to keep checking to see that you have your keys. All of us have it in some form.
Mm-hmm.
I have one lady that I'm working with, and her husband told me that she has that.
It's
Yeah, well-
like going to the door and having to turn it right 3 times and the knob left 3 times and then go back again after you walked out to make sure you did it. Things like that really get in the way of life.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what causes it.
I think your spine is out
Mm-hmm.
at some point.
Mm-hmm. See, we're a little bit weak on this one. Where there are prayer and forgiveness, there's peace. Mental cleansing, justifying, self-centered, delighted, guilty. And this streptococcus is, again, from yesterday, a theme. So it does not hurt to pull up. Let me just copy it again since it does not hurt to pull that up and put it in the pathogen panel. And we'll come back to that after it scans. Also, are any of you listening to, there's a new documentary series out. It's a 9-parter. And now my brain is, I can't remember the name of it now. Isn't that terrible? I've been to work on my brain. But I think it's called Proven.
What?
Proven?
Yeah, Proven.
Uh-huh.
I'll send it out to the group later. Someone sent it to me late yesterday, so I went ahead and hopped on at 9. It's not bad, and in this first one, it's talking about the alternative medicine techniques that work, and they are emphasizing that our present medical paradigm is profit driven. No kidding.
My God, I'm so shocked.
I'm telling you, isn't that shock? Yeah, I'm telling you.
Really?
And what they did in this first one, I'll share with you, and then I'll send out the link for this if anybody's interested.
Me, because I have it in my cell phone to watch it, and then I couldn't find it. Hi, Ron.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best to find it in my stuff and send it out. But they gave the top 5 stress managers. They started coming in at 5 with yoga. This next one, herbal medicine, and what they emphasized was ashwagandha and reishi. And I'll tell you, I know that reishi is powerful. And you can even get, in our sustenance balancer, we have a reishi code, and we ask for it often. Now, this is interesting, too, this mindfulness, which they talk quite a bit about, and apparently there are mindfulness meditations. I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Pardon?
Any meditation.
Yeah, because even corporate now is stressing this, to live in the moment. And, in all fairness, that's biblical. So what happens is that they want you to focus on the very moment at hand or the day at hand. You can actually put it in a 24-hour increment. So they stress that. Then up to 2 was the Tai Chi and QiGong. And they mentioned, again, the power of putting the tongue up on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, which we know solidifies what they call the microcosmic orbit, which they say when that's strong, wellness has to be the result. Also, of course, we want to be in the parasympathetic 90% of the time, and what's happening is most of us are in the sympathetic. So, and then finally, they're number 1, and I don't know, are any of you doing EFT on a regular basis?
No, but I'm
Not regular.
No.
Was. Nydia, you are, aren't you?
Well, off and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even one better, Faster EFT.
Yes, there is.
You
Are
want
you
that?
able to show it to us, Ron?
What's it called?
Faster
EFT. Yeah.
Oh.
Go to FasterEFT.com.
I want to show you one tomorrow that Ann Harrison taught me. I'm still practicing. She just taught it to me Saturday. But Bob Fitzgerald, he is the owner of Boomers International, and he has spent apparently thousands upon thousands of dollars studying around the world. And this is an EFT technique that he learned that he's willing to share with all of us. I tried it for the first time this morning. I want to practice and I'll share it, but I will email it, the steps, along with this proven documentary stuff. What it involves, I can show you in a nutshell, is you're tapping on, can you see?
No.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Right where the thumbnail meets the flesh is where you're going to softly tap, and you're going to make your statements, which I'll email. As you make these statements, you're actually there's apparently an acupoint here, which is very powerful, and you're going to continue making your statement as you tap these points. Then you're going to put your hands over your chest and lean forward. You're going to press, lean forward, breathe in, and breathe out. And then you're going to do your karate chop. And what Ann says is that you don't have to do this but once or twice, and it's locked in. So I thought, wow, I definitely, and I didn't get to it till this morning. And you can even put a little drop of essential oil if you want to, so that as you do this tapping, that oil is also going in.
For your fingernail?
Yeah, well, it go into your skin. You're right on the skin, the line between the nail and the skin.
Oh.
And we know that oil ups voltage.
Huge.
I tried that too. I put a little drop of cinnamon bark on,
And I've learned about EFT for years.
What's that?
I said I learned about EFT many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our connective tissue, they say, is comparable to quartz crystal. And I myself had an absolute miracle with tapping. And why I didn't continue tapping forever, that's pure self-sabotage. Because it was literally a miracle. I think I've told that story before. And so nevertheless, I need to get started with it again. But the other thing is it takes maybe 30 seconds to do it this way. So it sure would be worth trying.
Yeah, I have a lady friend in Australia, and she teaches Faster EFT.
Good. Okay. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I really did intend to get involved with it. I went to a workshop some years ago in Orlando, and there were a couple of people that went into total panic attacks doing it. And I'm not equipped to handle that.
Why did you go in panic attacks?
I have no idea.
Well, one of the problems I think with Faster EFT is that you have to bring to mind parts of your history that brought up traumatic events, and that puts a lot of people off, because normal EFT, you're still in the now. You don't have to relive it. But I think with Faster EFT, you relive it for a little while.
Yeah, it's very, very strong, very powerful.
Yeah. So anyway, one person, they really thought they were going to have to call the rescue squad. She was bringing up something her father used to say to her as a child, and it was something I wasn't ever qualified to handle.
Right.
So anyway, real quickly before we get started, let me show you our sustenance balancer scan. Where'd it go? Look at this. This is a high number. That's really weird how that came up at the top, even though it's not a priority. But we've got pycnogenol, a statement: the destroyer cannot come into my life or family. We've got of wild rose hips. You might want to look into that rose hips. That's pretty interesting. Malcolm Ray, restore essential element cell memory. A few young living products. Nourish, there's that nourish brain cells. It's in the sustenance balancer as well. And so what you can do.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
You know that MMS is kind of funny that it came up with that high number, but you know that lots of people are using that as preventative for the COVID.
Yes, and now I need to re-study that because, yes, I need to study and learn more about that. They're also using it to negate some of the negative test swab and COVID. So that would be something. Anybody that has any knowledge, please share it. And I found that interesting, too, that it came up at the top like that. So let's go ahead. We'll enhance. Now, you also can test. I did that this morning for someone to see if they wanted this entire scan put in the P4 as well. And that person had like a 95% benefit of it, but we didn't. As a group, that was just a 7% benefit. So we're just using the sustenance balancer. Where'd we go? Let's go ahead and 2 minutes. But then you remember yesterday we did the thymus, and that's now loaded in as a cocktail. And so I want to add something to it. And I'm noticing with the people I'm working with, the individuals I'm working with daily, that since I've been doing this thymus cocktail, there is a noticeable improvement in how they're feeling. And today we're going to do the voltage. I'm going to we're going to just save that, the overall cocktail.
Cathy, I saw a video yesterday on the thymus tap because I sent it over to Cheryl.
Yeah.
And the lady that did it was when she breathed in, she would breathe in through her nose and out through her mouth. So that's supposed
to for the thymus tap?
Yeah, for thymus tap. While you're tapping, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Okay. Thank you. There's so much
I
for
know.
us here that we can start incorporating. And that's the thing. They say, don't try to change a bunch of habits all at once. Just pick
Yeah.
one thing, and that would be a simple enough one to do.
Yeah.
So we've got the whole cocktail in. Now we've gone back to the find options, and we've loaded it up here, and we can get a breakdown as to where we as a group have a little stress.
You sent all this to us.
What's that?
Have you sent this list that you have to the left there to us?
For some reason, that's breaking up, Ron. I'm not hearing what you're asking.
No. Have you sent that list to your left? Did you send that to us also?
No, that's not quite cleaned up yet, but the Thymus List is there.
Oh, okay.
And then also it's added as a cocktail. So, and in the screencast on the blog, it shows you how to take the list and make your cocktail. And that's what we did today as well. So just take the list, and then you don't need to call Kevin. You can just make and save your own cocktail.
That list is in there, though?
The voltage list isn't, but the Thymus List is. And the voltage will be shortly. I just wanted to do a little bit more tweaking. But you see, for example, here we have cellular spin. The pH of the salivary is a little off. We want to oxygenate the cells. This is an interesting one, and I'm always happy to see a code. The liver cleans and repairs itself so the rest of the body can heal. Spinal fluid, germanium, and this is an interesting at 70 millivolts. So far, I don't have a code for that. Activate safety circuits to enable flow of electrons. That's an interesting one. Getting all this from that book, Healing is Voltage, which is going to have to take at least another reread. Properly functioning liver, fibrous tissue. What's interesting, according to Jerry Tennant, and he says this is all hypothesis, but they have the technology to measure this stuff. We're talking mainstream science technology, and it appears the meridians are actually fibrous tissue. So that's a thought-provoking idea. Protect cellular membranes. So we can go in here, for example, and see where we are with these. We may not do that at this moment in time, but if you are working with yourself or an individual, you might want to go in and see, for example, here we are with cellular spin. And that does go up to the 102, but at this moment in time, it's a little low. The salivary. And by the way, I went to see Gwen yesterday. She is literally in hospice for just 5 days.
Good.
What they're doing, I first went by her condo because some things were forgotten that she needed. And her caregiver, I could see exactly why they did that, because the caregiver is exhausted. It's 5 days of rest for the caregiver.
All right.
Well, Gwen, I talked to her and she seemed like a really happy campy. She was bragging about what she got for breakfast.
What she had for breakfast?
Oh my goodness, it went on and on, like eggs and grits and coffee and fruit and toast and might have been some meat in there. And they had, of course, turned the AC down and she was breathing a lot better.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I was really relieved to hear all that.
Yeah, no, I have to say I was really impressed.
Probably why the caregiver was given the chance to take a rest because of what we did.
Maybe so, yeah.
It made her enough better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should put her back on maybe next week. That'd be kind of fun to see if she can continue to stay strong.
Yes, that's a great idea. Yeah, I was encouraged because I didn't talk with her yet this morning. She did text. I had texted her last night about 10 to see if she was up, and I think she was asleep. So that's amazing too, because 10 is our repair time.
Yep.
What is her name?
Gwen Box.
She's the one we worked on last week, Ron.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So see, look right here. This one, the liver cleans and repairs itself. That's you see the 98 there, and that's a low number. We can go and look into that a little bit more. The liver is the big deal. That looks like the next thing we want to focus on. That perhaps controls our voltage more than any other single issue. And most of our livers are like, oh. So, let's just see if I can. Hey, Shin will do it. No, we don't have to go anymore. Put that in there. Cerebral spinal fluid. Any word from Cheryl? Marty?
Yesterday we texted back and forth quite a bit. She's been getting heavy metal chelation, and it's costing a fortune. She's going to quit doing that. She didn't say that comment yet on how she's feeling from how we're running her, but I'll be probably talking to her today.
Yeah, and it's very subtle. You know, she may not notice.
Not yet. I don't know if she didn't say anything, because a lot of times we'll text and then we'll drop off, and it'll be like the next day before we talk or text again.
Mm-hmm.
She's super appreciative, though. I do know that.
Well, I'm glad we can do it. And I'm trying to get Kevin on the call one of these days to share a little more with us. I think he's got such wisdom, and anything more we can learn about this scheduler.
Yeah, like how to get it if we don't have it.
Yeah, that was a new thing we learned. Apparently, you don't have the scheduler if you don't have the Pro Tools.
CathyDSlaght didn't tell me about it when I bought the SRC.
I didn't have any idea. I've never used the scheduler till now because of the mastery.
Right.
Let's see. And that you got in on that phenomenal sale.
I thought it was the very beginning price. Is that what it was?
They will never do that again.
Was it beginning, or was it just on sale when I got it?
What now?
Did I get it when it first came out, or was it?
No. It'd been out for a long time, but Ray decided we would have a special, and that was sold for $1,000. And
yeah, I wasn't gonna say everybody will what?
No, but I mean it was. Some of the others in the group, that's what they spent. It's not a secret. There's a lot bought at that price. It's $3,500 now, and he says there will be no more sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they're going to have a subscription too, right?
Yes, there's going to be a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Well, are they going to charge for the updates, or just give them to us, or how's it?
The updates, as far as updates, they're free. But if you upgrade, that's the difference. If you upgrade to like the Pro Tools, and you don't have to purchase the stick. You can subscribe, and that's what we're still getting straightened out. So it's the Pro Tools, and the first thing to do though is like Ron did, take that link that Ray is offering for free, and give it 30 days and see if it's worth your while.
I'm trying to know enough so I can even take the 30-day trial. That's why you.
Yeah, there's nothing. No, you can literally. They have all of the tutoring right in that Pro Tool, whatever you call it, panel.
Really?
So Cathy, I'm looking at the list from Ralph.
Yeah.
And so the stick, the only place I see 3520 is on with the stick.
Right. That would be with your dongle. That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. Just to make sure, because I want to start.
Yeah,
So-
because I had hoped that that 3,500 was coming down. That's not coming down.
So Kathy, if we have everything, we get free updates, right?
That's my understanding. But if they come out with a new product, they're talking about this cell phone product. That would not be free. But that's a different
What is that?
product.
What's the
They're
cell
talking
phone?
about, yeah, they're talking about a little app that will be on the cell phone that people can just use for themselves. And it apparently is going to clear all kinds of things, but it's just and they're that's not out yet. It's probably going to be the end of the year.
What does
Yes,
it do?
we were-
That's cool.
What?
What does it do for the cell phone?
It's some kind of an application where you can just carry your SRC with you on it and hit the wonder click. But yeah, it's you only work on yourself. You can't work on other people.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And so that's all that I personally know about it right now. They're waiting, I think, for an investor. Okay, so this is interesting in reference to the fibrous tissue. There's a lot of stress there. And if it's true that the fibrous tissue is what controls, what is really our meridians, and that's one of the channels for our electrons. And what we learned is it's our electrons that go into the matrix of that goes into the matrix and brings in our own reality. It's all the electrons. So if that's the case, and if we've got a little stress with the channel, it would be good to get it balanced out. And then this protect cellular membrane, the cellular membrane is the cell's brain. And what they say is if we eat a lot of things like, say, the hydrogenated fats, that membrane actually turns to plastic.
Wow.
It turns what?
To plastic.
Oh my
And
God.
it would not be a good idea to have a plastic brain.
Yeah.
So let's go in here.
Because I do eat potatoes.
What?
I eat potatoes.
Yeah, I think real food is fine. I think they're talking about all this processed stuff.
There's not
Oh,
hydrogenated fats in foods anymore, though.
I think I don't know about that. You'd have to update me on that, but I think we will find they're just called something different.
Really? Oh.
That would be my thought.
Mhm.
Anybody have any ideas on that?
Well, just like sugar is in everything, but it's not called the same.
Well,
Exactly.
and it's like DDT. They made that illegal, so they just changed the name. I had someone, it's been a couple years ago now, but she's in her 80s, and she was sicker than an ever-loving horse. And she called, and I just did a real quick distance scan, and it looked as if she had been exposed to DDT. So I called her, and she said, oh boy. She said, those strawberries at Publix looked so good.
Oh my God.
that she said, I just went ahead, even though they weren't organic, and got them. And she said, and that was it. That's where she got it.
They're one of the worst.
So I will have to look. I don't think that's true that they've removed it, but they may have changed some terminology. So here's our image.
I gotta learn more about using that. I use it all the time, but you go deeper
use
than I
what?
go, that's for sure.
What's that again? Use what?
Healing numbers.
Yeah, I really appreciate this.
Well, I discovered it a long time ago, and I found it to be very interesting. But then on the other hand, I see that you go a lot deeper on it, so I gotta study more with it.
Well, I don't know if maybe that's my OCD.
Well,
But I like
grateful. We're grateful for it, Kathy.
I like it.
Right.
I'm so grateful to them, and I believe in the Grabavoy, and I believe in images. The images are so powerful. Any image. So we've got that in there now, and it's saved as a cocktail, and you saw how we did that. That's the dispenser. Let's go on into the acupuncture. I'll do just these two, and we can do the rest can be done later. And since we have fibrous tissue in the other one as a theme, how about we put stress related to electron flow? And then you can just go in here to load a cocktail. As you've already loaded it once, go down here to dispenser cocktails. Fibrous tissue. And save. And both the dispenser and the acupuncture always give you more information, so we can go in here and see so we've got muscles and we've got family issues. And we're taking 20 hours. Let's just see. You see, we're taking a lot of energy. Well, we can quickly, I think, do this. Let's go ahead to the light panel and the elemental. Just for the heck, well, I'll leave it at that. I almost put in manifestation. Because it probably all ties together. Let's just leave it at that. Look at that, another 20 hours.
Wow.
And then the elemental scanner. And then we've got the timeline. No telling what could be done with that timeline. But, you know, again, that's a work in progress. A lot of people believe, for example, in certain timelines, some people are experiencing more turmoil than others. Do y'all read up on that kind of thing?
No.
It's thought-provoking.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's fascinating.
Yeah, anything you ever feel like sharing, I'm interested anyway.
Well, they talk about sometimes that we end up in a void timeline just to protect us from some of the bigger stuff that's going on, because there's just so much radiation and things like that. So they have the capability to shift us for a bit and then bring us back in when things are more safe. So
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's deep.
it's just like what we're using with the SRC. It's the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very thought provoking. Now you see, we have our information for the voltage, and we can go ahead. We've got one generic cocktail, and then we've got some specifics doused in, and now we can go down following the Tesla and add it again. And then we've got the Thymus cocktail already in there. And we could take it a step further. I don't know that we need to today, but we could. And then the other thing I still need to add is the cocktail on the command. Haven't made that one yet. Let's just real quickly make it.
Wow.
And words, that's another thing. The words are so powerful.
Yeah.
Put that in there. Save. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. I don't mean to do it that way.
Cathy, can you put affirmations into the SRC?
You sure can. We've got a good scan, and you can also put it in the field generator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, use your Pro Tool. So there's all kinds of things you can do with affirmations.
Cathy, what did you do different? Just optimize?
For what?
Just now. You said you did it wrong and you were going back.
Oh, yeah, I tried to save the cocktail up here in this part. This is where you look it up.
Yeah.
So you want to save the cocktails. Wait, I'll show you. Wait a minute. Let me just add that. You want, when you when you save a cocktail, you want to save it down here in this part right here. So now we're loaded up, and let's just see what happens. Like we want to preserve a theme. It looks like we want some QiGong. Is anybody doing the fireball?
Forgetting.
I do too. And I feel the energy of it when I even just roughly, I need to get into that and do it.
If you press your thumb into the opposite palm before you start, that activates those chakras. I learned that with Master Co at Chronic Healing.
Yeah, that Master Co is amazing. Is anybody listening to any of his stuff?
No, what's his name?
Stephen Co.
C.O. And I'll tell you, I just signed up for his newsletter, and I'm going to start listening to some.
I studied with him before he went to California. He's edge of your seat interesting.
Yep, that's what I hear.
So is that COE?
Yeah.
C.O.
He's the direct disciple of Grandmaster Chokoksui, CHOAKUK or KOKSUI, who's passed on, but he developed the whole pranic healing protocol, and so Stephen Co studied with him.
Wow.
Could you send
nice.
that?
I'm gonna look him up. Thanks.
Could you send that to me, please?
I'll add it when I send the information out on that documentary and the tapping.
Yeah.
But all you do, Ron, is go online and type in Master Co, C.O, and up will come his site, and then you can subscribe to him.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with YouTube. Go into YouTube, type it in, and you'll find the YouTubes.
Grandmaster Co, right?
Yeah, 60 Minutes did a documentary on him in the hospitals where patients would not heal no matter what. And the commentators like, wow, he's just waving his hands and doing frantic healing. And the people got well because they had dirty energy all over. He cleared it all out. They got well.
Wow.
So, okay, well, good. Well, that's it for today.
Thank you, Cathy.
Thank you.
That's huge as always, Cathy. Thank you.
I'm glad y'all are
Bless you.
here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great day.
Thanks a
You
lot.
too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Cathy.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call for June 2nd, 2021. If you would like to join us on the call, come on over to CathyDSlaught's website, scroll down, look for the Zoom banner, and you click here. If you'd like to be part of the client list that she has, you can register here. It is a monthly fee, and then make sure you get this waiver to her. Let's see, there, and you just subscribe right here. Y'all take care and have a great day.